Good evening. I'm Nick D'Alessandro, Supervisor of the Town of East Fishkill. I welcome you all to our official Town Board Reorganization meeting, our first meeting in the new year. Would we all please rise for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Like I said, this is our annual reorganization meeting, or our housekeeping meeting. This is where we do all of our appointments and adoptions for conducting business for the coming year. But just a few remarks before we begin. I'd like to wish a very happy new year to all our employees and families in our community. This past Saturday, we had our swearing-in ceremony. Congratulations to all those who were sworn in: Tom Franco and Emmanuel Marinaro for Town Council, Carl Hooray for Town Clerk, Ken Williams for Highway Superintendent, Marge Horton, John Metzger, Donna Boldner, and John Tones for the Dutchess County Legislature. And of course, thank you to our justices, Rick Romig and Brian Rudner, for officiating the ceremony. And thank you to my assistant, Gina Grippo, for putting together the beautiful event. She really did a great job. Also, thank you to Father Michael McLaughlin, who came from, he's the pastor of St. Columba Church. He came and he gave a beautiful invocation. It's an honor to be part of this government and a privilege to serve as your town supervisor. We have a beautiful town, and we are blessed to have hardworking, dedicated town employees from our police department, highway department, town hall, and recreation. And a very big plus to all the many community volunteers that we have. We are truly blessed to have a top-notch emergency and fire services. Thank you to all of you. We should strive to help one another, no matter how big or small. This is what gives our community a beating heart. I promise to work hard and listen to your concerns and help resolve them. We don't always agree, but as your town board, we will work together and be respectful to one another. We're constantly working to improve our town. We have never broken the tax cap and have one of the lowest tax rate in all of Dutchess County, and we're proud of that. And we will work hard to continue our strong record. And with that, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilperson Marinaro?
Here.
Councilperson Cassidy?
Present.
Councilperson Franco?
Present.
Supervisor D'Alessandro?
Present. Okay. So for the reorganization meeting, we go through the appointments and resolutions. The first resolution is appointment of the Deputy Supervisor and Secretary to the Supervisor. I would like to appoint Peter Cassidy as the Deputy Supervisor and reappoint Gina Grippo as the Secretary to me. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Gina is very instrumental. I could tell you, this is my second week, and I don't know how I could have done it without her. Thank you, Gina. I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Nick, could you allow me 2 minutes before we continue with this? I just want to say something.
Sure.
That probably will pertain to what's going on later on.
Okay.
So, what I will talk about briefly is about transparency and the cost of government and how it negatively affects our daily lives. While I discuss these issues, I like to premise that this is not a negative exposure toward anyone in particular, but rather a short presentation of the cost of local government and how it affects our taxes. Before I continue, let me say that I consider the New York State tax cap a positive influence on controlling spending in our town budget. Moreover, I will repeat again that we as a town board should work cohesively to reduce spending and find ways to deliver services efficiently. I know this is to be a challenge, but I know that with some effort we could do it. I also would like the community to know that I've had many positive discussions with our town supervisor on how to address spending measures. But at the end of the day, it will be up to Mr. D'Alessandro to decide if and when to put any measure in place. But I am optimistic. In light of transparency tonight, I have put together a short comparison on how our immediate localities spend their tax dollars. I also want to say that the majority of our tax dollars are spent on salaries, health benefits, pensions for elected, appointed, and workers who deliver the services for our citizens. So I'm going to pass this to the rest of the board so that you guys can kind of follow. I had asked for a short survey of our town compared to our local town, the town of Fishkill, town of Poughkeepsie, town of LaGrange, and town of Wappingers. This basically took some salaries for elected officials and appointed officials. And I'm just going to take, I have a chart, the board does the chart. I'm just going to compare the town of East Fishkill, and a close town that compares to ours will be the town of Wappingers. And in front of us, we have some numbers of salaries for elected officials and appointed officials. Briefly, I'm going to say that as of 2017, the supervisor's salary for East Fishkill was $78,176. For the town of Wappingers is $61. Council person in the town of East Fishkill is $14,187. In Wappingers is $11,883. Highway superintendent 2017, $92,014. Highway in Wappingers $81,225. The town clerk in our town received $72,000 in 2017, $941. The clerk in Wappingers is $58,868. The tax collector in our town received last year $58,396, and the town collector in Wappingers $59. So briefly, I took the 3 years, I did 2016 to 2018, and compiled the amount of taxes that we spend additional to what the town of Wappingers spends. And for the supervisor, we overspent $56,500. For the council, we overspend over that town $9,578. For the highway superintendent, we overspend $32,617. For the town clerk, we spend we spend town clerk $46,141. The total 3-year overspending is $144,836. I kind of looked a little bit at the appointed officials, and our town, I have to say that as far as the assessors is concerned, we spent last year $115,775. The town of Wappingers spent $45,088. The controller, we spent $104 last year, $418. The town of Wappingers spent $76,000. We do have a lawyer and an engineer in-house. No other town has that, so with the comparison couldn't be made. But our town lawyer received $124,800. Our town engineer last year received $159,922. So the bottom line is that government delivering services is not cheap. I've discussed with the town supervisor that this kind of expenses do affect our citizens, and now we collect their taxes. I strongly believe that if we could reduce expenses, there is no need to raise taxes. That is my belief. I have been pleased that when we spoke in private with the town supervisor, he has somewhat, in some ways, agreed with me, and I think he will find ways to reduce costs. Why am I doing this? Because tonight we're doing the reappointment. I just want to make sure the community knows the cost that implies to operate and deliver services in the town of East Fishkill. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. And yeah, it is expensive to run government, and, you know, nothing is cheap in New York, nothing is cheap in the Northeast, and, you know, you get what you pay for, and we're lucky to have good professionals that do a great job for us, and a lot of them, we do share services with our assessor, with our town attorney, and a few others, our town planner, and we're lucky. We're lucky that we can do that, because a lot of towns don't. And we actually did share services before other towns even thought about that, or even before Dutchess County made it an incentive to do it, or New York State. So sometimes we like to think that we're above the curve, and we have been. And I have talked to the councilman, and we are going to look to share some more services within our building, within different departments, try and have workers share in different offices. And I'll be discussing that with the department's head soon. And I have a very good feeling from them and from the vibe in the building that people are looking forward to it. So I am looking for a very productive year and for our town.
Mr. Supervisor,
Yes.
just to point out that the town of Wappinger has a village in it, and therefore, like, the village taxes for a highway superintendent for the village part of it, so that would be reflected in the difference in the job. They have a village clerk, which issues marriage licenses and permits, and they have their own level of government, which the taxpayers pay additional for, and that carves away from the town much of the responsibilities that a town of East Fishkill has no village, doesn't have that carve-out.
Right, right. Thank you. So our second, number 2, resolution for the night is our reappointments. The first resolution is for our town attorney for the term of 2018 and 19, to reappoint Tom Wood as our town attorney. Second is to reappoint our town comptroller, which is Mark Posniak. Reappoint him for the terms of 2018 and 19 also. The next resolution is the reappointment of the legislative aide to the town board, Claire Hurley. She continues to working in the police department, the finance department, and she performs other functions for the town board and for the town supervisor's office. The next resolution for the audio and visual technician, I'd like to remove that, please. I'm not done with that, so we'll come back to that another night. Also, our continued share services for our town planner, Michelle Robbins. She's our part-time planner. We have her on 2/5 basis, so we pay her 2/5 of her salary. We have an intermunicipal agreement with another town that uses her services. Our town assessor, Kathy Martin, she is also shared service with the city of Beacon. We pay a portion of her salary, and so does the city of Beacon. And to renew the Register of Vital Statistics, Carol Hooray is hereby designated as the Register of Vital Statistics, and Caroline Chaccio and Regina Ferrucci designated as Sub-Registrar and Deputy Registrar of Vital Statistics. Do I have a motion to reappoint all these important positions?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Are we appointing all at once, or are we doing it one by one?
We're going to appoint all that I described. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Well, there are certain people that I kind of,
Don't want to? Okay, so we can go through each one then. Do I have a motion to reappoint Tom Wood as the town attorney?
So moved.
Do I have a second? Second?
I'll second it, if you got it.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor?
aye,
Aye. Opposed?
opposed,
One opposition. Passed. Next one is reappointed town controller, Mark Posniak, to be reappointed. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
second,
Discussion? No discussion. All in favor, say aye.
aye,
Opposed? Motion passed. Do I have a motion to reappoint Claire Hurley as the legislative aide to the town board?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
aye,
Aye. Motion passed. Do I have a motion to reappoint Michelle Robbins as our Shared Services Town Planner?
So moved.
Second?
Second?
Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Do I have a motion to continue shared services for our town assessor?
So
Second. Okay, all, a discussion? Anybody for discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. Renew the Registrar of Vital Statistics. Carol Hooray for the Registrar of Vital Statistics, Caroline Chaccio as the deputy, and Regina Ferrucci as the sub-registrar. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second?
Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carried. Okay. Number 3 is our banking. Designate the official depositories of the town. Town controller recommends that Tompkins Mayapack Bank continue as a principal depository of the town. They're located, have offices on Route 82, and authorize various signatories to the town accounts. Town board has previously designated official depositories of the town, and the supervisor is authorized the signer of said accounts, and Deputy Supervisor Peter Cassie being hereby is authorized signer on accounts in accordance with the law in the absence of the supervisor. And the town board does hereby continue require that all checks in excess of $500,000 be countersigned by the town clerk. Do I have a motion to accept those 2 resolutions?
Moved.
Do I have a second?
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Number 4, designate the official newspapers. The town board must designate an official newspaper for publications of all our legal notices. Southern Dutchess News is and hereby is designated as the official newspaper of the town of East Fishkill. And the Poughkeepsie Journal being hereby is designated as an alternate official newspaper. Do I have a motion to accept that?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second?
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay. Number 5 is to authorize retaining of our consultants, very important. Consulting engineering services, we have previously selected Morris Associates Engineering, and the town used the engineering services of Renia Engineering Designs also. And we wish to continue their services. Also, we'd like to reappoint Hudson Valley Engineering as the official town traffic consultant. And we also want to extend a contract for our hydrogeologist. The town has previously selected Leggett, Bergiers, and Graham, LBG, to be the town's hydrogeologist consultant. And we also have a stormwater consultant, which is Stormwater Management Consultants, Inc. They prepare our annual MS4 annual report with respect to our MS4 permits and requirements for New York State DEC. And we'd like to renew Stormwater Management Consultants for our MS4 consultant. Do I have a motion to accept these resolutions?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Number 6, appoint members and designate chairs. Very important also. Reappointing terms for various boards and councils. We have our Architectural Review Board, our Recreation Advisory Board, Conservation Advisory Council, Ethics Board, and Board of Assessment Review. The terms of office for all the members on the CAC, that's the Conservation Advisory Council, and the Ethics Board has expired on December 31st, 2017, and a new term would expire December 31st, 2018. Town Board would like to reappoint the said members listed here for the CAC, Ethics Board, Architectural Review Board, and on the back is the Board of Assessment. Also, the chairs for the boards. For the calendar year 2018, We recommend Lori G. for the Planning Board, Norma Drummond for our Zoning Board, Brent Feldwig for our Conservation Advisory Council, Paul Pezzavento to Architectural Review Board, Michael Keiser for our Recreation Board, and Deborah McCaffrey for our Ethics Board. Do I have a motion to accept these two resolutions?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion?
I'm going to abstain from voting on this.
Okay, one abstention, clerk?
One question.
Yes.
The order they're in, is that the length of the terms left? Because some of them are 2-year, 3-year, any idea?
No, I don't believe so.
No.
Okay.
But if you will, I'll send
Gina
the...
has all the terms
Yeah, I'll
on the
send
spreadsheet.
a detailed list of each one, but the ones,
Yeah.
the CAC and the Ethics Board, they expired this year.
Yeah.
Or, I'm sorry, 2017.
Yeah, okay. So,
Okay? I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and one abstention. So moved. Number 7. Receive and file supervisors' designation of departmental liaisons. Okay, the town supervisor on an annual basis chooses who the town board will be liaison to. Councilman Cassidy, the Highway Department, Councilman Franco, the Recreation Department, and Councilman Marinaro, the Police Department. Do I have a motion to accept this important resolution?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
all right.
Opposed? Motion carried. Said it a little prematurely, but... Okay, next one, number 8. Authorize the supervisor to sign personal service agreements within budgetary lines. There are personal service agreements that are budgeted and require the town supervisor's signature. The town board is asked to authorize the supervisors to sign any personal service agreements. Do I have a motion to accept that?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
I just have a question.
Sure.
What is personal service agreement stand? What is that?
Tom, you want to answer?
Sure,
Could you,
from time
please?
to time, the town has to retain a vendor or contractor to perform services for maintenance or whatever, and this resolution would cover the signing of it as long as it's been previously budgeted.
Thank you.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Do I, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, number 9. Accept agenda format for the town board meetings. I'm proposing a change to the town board agenda. Copy was given to the town board, and I'd like to accept that at this time, but we can always make changes as we move forward. Do I have a motion to accept that?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Discussion.
Just, I know that, as you said, we could change
As
the
we go,
format.
right?
There is a time from when the discussion from the public, 15 to 7:45, that's not written in stone, is it?
No, well, what I propose is, after we do the pledge, I make my announcements, we do the roll call, then I'll have courtesy of the floor, where the residents could come up and speak about any items on the agenda or any other items. We'll do it all at once in the beginning. If there is something that is a hot topic or something that will take longer than the allotted time that I'm hoping for, then I will invite them to come to our workshop, so they could come and I could dedicate the whole workshop to them if they would like. Or another meeting, if we've done that in the past too. We've met at different firehouses and whatnot for other meetings. So I just think that maybe this will encourage more people to come if they know that the meeting would not be dragged on so long, that their comments could be heard in the beginning instead of the end. But we can make changes as we go. So I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right.
Opposed? Motion carried. Number 10, designate insurance broker for the year 2018. The town board on an annual basis needs to maintain insurance coverage for the town. And the town board designate brokers of record. The Spain agency, be and hereby is designated as a town broker of record for commercial coverage and workers' compensation. and that Dutchess County Agent B and hereby is designated as the town broker of record for health insurance, and that Marshall and Sterling B and hereby is designated as the town's insurance broker of record with respect to the town's disability insurance. Do I have a motion for this important resolution?
So moved.
Second? Discussion? Yeah.
Do we know how long we've been using this agency?
I believe Spain agency, we, maybe
2
4 or
years,
5 years
yeah,
ago,
yeah,
we
it's
changed
within the last
them.
5
When we
years.
did an RFP for them, didn't we, Mark?
There wasn't an RFP. We did switch to them when we changed our commercial coverage to NYMER,
NYMER.
and it was about $160,000 a year savings.
Oh, that's right, the Spain
then-
agency does it minor.
Then last month, we switched to Spain also for our workers' comp coverage, through Comp Alliance. With Dutchess County Agent, they've done our health insurance for about the same amount of time, 5 years.
Which was the result of an RFP also. When we changed health insurance.
Yeah,
it was an
there was a significant savings when he found options for us that saved the town significant amount of money. And then Marshall and Sterling for disabilities longer than I've been here, so.
Should we ever look at rebidding these again? Because we kind of like bid them.
Well,
Years
so with the
Marshall and
brokers,
Sterling, right.
I mean, typically, if we're comfortable with the broker, then they go out and
They
bid
bid it.
the different policies,
But
right?
with respect to Spain, the town elected to go with the New York Insurance Reciprocal, which is school districts and towns in the state, and Spain is the designated broker for this region. So if you want to be in that program, you have to go through them. And now NYMER is the same for the workers' comp. It's a consortium of towns, villages, and cities in the state. So it's not a traditional insurance company.
Yeah. But they could offer different options if we weren't satisfied with the policies we have.
Okay. Any other discussion? Okay, I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Denied? Motion carried. Opposed? Not denied.
Denied.
Okay, number
Get that in the minutes.
11.
Get that in the
Yeah,
minutes.
strike that. Number 11, authorize the attendance at the Association of Towns for various town officials. Association of Towns of State of New York, of which the town of East Fishkill is a member, conducts their annual meeting and training sessions on February 18th, 2018 to February 21st, 2018. The town law officers and officials of the town are authorized to attend said function. The town board does and hereby authorize officials and employees as approved by a town supervisor to attend the association. Do I have a motion to accept that?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Number 12, salary resolution. First one is setting salaries for town employees. Town board to fix all compensated for town employees and officials. Town board has received rates for all the officials' seasonal and part-time positions for 2018. And that the elected officials of the town shall be paid in accordance with the amount set forth in the 2018 adopted budget. That the salaries are provided in the contractual agreement between the town of East Fishkill Police Benevolent Association shall be paid in accordance therewith. And that the salaries are provided in the contractual agreement between the town and the CSEA shall be paid in accordance therewith. That all other officials, seasonal and part-time employees of the town shall be paid in accordance with the schedule attached hereto. Do I have a motion to accept?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed? One opposition? Motion carried. Number 13. Authorize the signing of an intermunicipal agreement and contracts for services with agencies. The supervisor signs intermunicipal agreements and contracts annually for services with agencies as budgeted. Town board is asked to authorize the supervisor to sign all intermunicipal agreements and contracts that are in the 2018 budget. Do I have a motion to accept?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Number 14, authorize supervisor to refund fees in the building and planning applications. From time to time, applications applied to the planning and zoning boards and pay their requisite application fees, and sometimes they later decide not to pursue the application. Or in the alternative, they realize they cannot make the modification proposed and requested that their application fee be refunded. Now therefore be it resolved that the supervisor be and hereby is authorized to refund fees on withdrawn building and planning permits and to modify building permit fees where necessary in the amounts not to exceed $1,000. Do I have a motion to accept?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Discussion.
This is only unused money, Scott, right? They can lose some of it if we
Yeah,
spend
the
money on it?
last resolve says that if there's any cost incurred, that's deducted.
Yes, okay.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Number 13, very important, request for proposals for water sewer operators. The town maintains 13 water districts and 6 sewer districts. It is necessary to have duly licensed operators who will monitor systems and perform small repairs and maintenance work thereon. The town would like to request proposals from various operators with respect to their charges for this service. It is the desire of the town board to receive proposals for said services, and that the town clerk be and hereby is authorized to circulate and advertise a request for professional services for water and sewer operators. Do I have a motion to accept?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Discussion? We need to take a look at our water and sewer operations. We did save some money a few years ago when we did this. Some things have been good and some things not so good, so we have to do another
Plus, we've
request for
added some
proposal.
systems.
Right.
So we wanna
We've
get it-
expanded substantially.
Right.
So we take the good with the bad, and we have to move forward. So I have a motion and a second. Do I have all in favor, say aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Number 16, authorize request for proposals for annual auditors. The town obtains an auditing company to perform the annual audit. It is the desire of the town board to advertise and request proposals from vendors providing said service. Now therefore be resolved that it is in the best interest of the town to advertise for these proposals so that there will be a wider selection and competition. Do I have a motion to accept?
So moved.
Second?
Second?
All in, discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. 17, authorize quarterly rates and fees for water and sewer. It is necessary for the town board to authorize the quarterly rates for the water and sewer districts. The minimum quarterly usage for water has reduced from 8,000 gallons per quarter to 7,000 gallons per quarter. And the town board has received and reviewed the water and sewer rates. The town board does hereby authorize the water and sewer rates for 2018. Do I have a motion? Second?
Second.
Discussion? Well, we had some, mostly seniors, that were complaining about the minimum usage. Their minimum usage was way lower than the minimum we charge them for. So we went back with the comptroller and the engineer to take a look and see what we can afford in those districts, and we could afford to reduce it by another 1,000 gallons. So that's what we propose. I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Well, that's it for our town board meeting. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I just want to say something. I know that we approved some salaries. I just want to make notice that I will not take my pay increase, Mark, so if you will make that official.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second. Aye.
Aye, almost,
Aye.
all,
Aye.
Next time we're meeting.
next town board meeting will be January 25th, 2018. Thank you.
All this way.